I'm sure they're all wondering. I've introduced you as a Major League Baseball player over here, ex-Major League. Tell us a little bit about how you got into the majors, what teams you played for, and any accomplishments that you might have had. Because I'm starstruck over you, man. I've already done my homework on you a long time ago.
But I don't even know where to start. This is 24 years of, I signed my first contract when I was 18 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, I signed out of high school,
incredible.
so it's like, I've been traveling and on the road with chasing this dream of, one day getting to the major leagues and actually playing in the major leagues. It took a while. It was a long, hard road a lot of people don't understand. They think this whole professional baseball thing is like this huge dream, but when you're living in the minor leagues from year to year and you're making, $1,800 a month, it's not all peaches and cream. So until you actually make it to that ultimate goal, but fortunately a lot of guys they're not able to do that just because there's so many people that you're competing against in the minor league system. But
right.
I was able to break through in 1999 with Kansas City, spent a little bit of time in the major leagues with Kansas City. And then it was a 6-year period of the minor leagues again before I got back up to the major leagues with my homegrown team, which is the Atlanta Braves. So that was one of the overall, things that I'll always take away from this is I was able to throw on an Atlanta Braves jersey, a team that I grew up watching as a kid and was fortunate enough to be able to actually play for them.
So how cool would that be to grow up in your hometown and always think, because I play Major League Baseball, the show, and I suck at it all the time, but I'm always taking those guys like the Diamondbacks, and I name them after the players. So it's kind of cool for you.
Yeah, for sure.
It was one of those things where, like, just my first day when I got called up, being in the locker room, it was like you kind of take that few minutes when the team goes out, because I was a reliever, so we didn't have to go out till later in the game. So it was like you'd put the uniform on, or I would put the uniform on and kind of go to the restroom and, just sit there and just kind of turn around and look at the name and the jersey, your name and your number on the back of your jersey, and just, think about all the times you used to go to the field and watch, your favorite Braves players like Dale Murphy and Claudio, like back in the old days. And it was like I'm wearing this uniform of the team that I watched, and my dad used to take me to his, games as a kid. So that was really cool to be a part of that and be able to do that throughout my career. So
I'd be in there taking selfies in their lockers just to show everybody. Like,
you want to,
this
but
guy's
it's like,
here.
Yeah.
I'm here.
You don't want all the other guys going, look at this guy. Is he even going to be able to handle what's about to go on out on the field? He's doing this inside the locker room.
That is so awesome. And, I mean, you're playing for your friends. Like, you probably had friends that were there. Like, that.
Were you nervous?
So cool.
Like your very first game going out, like in front of your hometown where you grew up?
No, not at that point. Now, the previous time I got called up with Kansas City, my first taste of, yes, very, very nervous, because it's playing in front of 35. I mean, there's more people in that stadium.
I mean, there's not a whole lot of
hometown.
fans in Kansas City, are they? I mean, baseball, Kansas City.
Oh, yeah.
What, 20 people?
You have the diehards.
They play. They play in spring training in Surprise.
Now, there's more people out here spring training than what there are. Just kidding. I told you in the beginning.
They play with the Rangers.
Yeah, it's saying the same thing. Nobody watches the Rangers
Just
anymore.
saying.
The only thing good about the Rangers when Nolan Ryan beat the crap out of that dude in the headlock. That was what made them famous.
The Royals were in the World Series, what was it, 4 or 5 years ago?
He didn't know. He's in baseball.
Who, the Rangers?
No, the Royals.
The Royals.
They've kind of turned it around.
Same thing. Yeah, right.
The Kansas City Royale.
But no, initially I wasn't nervous. When the second time I got called up with the Braves, it was one of those. Not really. Like I've been around the game so long, and that it's just one of those things you can learn to kind of channel and put deep down, and kind of you're in control of it a little more than you are early on in your career.
Get your nerves under control.
It's easier to do the more you're around it. Yeah,
right.
Because it's ultimately the same game, whether you're in the major leagues or you're in the minor leagues or you're on the softball field. It's all played the same.
So I'm guessing you probably started like in T-ball and then just loved the game.
6 years old, 7 years old, that's when it all started out, and kind of realized in high school towards my sophomore, junior year in high school that, hey, maybe I'm good enough to go to that next level. Thinking college, first of all, but then, you know, there was all talks, you know, you hear everybody, oh, there's professional scouts coming to the games in high school. And then it's like, well, hey, now I have a chance maybe to skip the college level and go to the next level. And that's what happened. I was a 18th round draft pick, which is fairly high for a high school kid. Yeah. So I took it and took that route instead of, you know, going to college. And, you know, it ultimately paid off for me. I made it to the pinnacle of the sport and, you know, was able to spend a couple of years in the major leagues. So it wasn't a bad decision, I guess.
When did you realize you wanted to take baseball and kind of run with it and say, hey, I think I'm good enough to compete at that level?
I guess it's just one of those things you kind of know other people see before you actually realize it or see, you know, and you're starting to be judged around the other talent around you. And then it's like, well, this kid stands out a little more than this kid, you know, and then it kind of keeps fall. You know, a lot of guys either improve or they kind of stay the same. And it was just one of those things year after year. It was like, wow, this kid's getting better. This kid's getting better. And then in high school, you realize it could be that next level type stuff.
My nephews played all-star ball. Did you play all-star ball as well, or just the school sports?
No, we did it. See, we were in everything. It was traveling leagues and
she probably Googled the all-star ball.
But there is
my nephews really have.
You're
you ever watch
all-stars?
Yeah.
Earlier on, there's all-stars, like when you're younger.
She probably never watches his nephew, just video clips or something. Right.
I can honestly say I've only been to one of their games. They play in Georgia, not in Arizona.
Yeah.
We do have an episode where she's talking how excited in Georgia she gets meatloaf, but you notice she didn't mention her nephew on going to watch the baseball game. You know, she probably only gets to see maybe once or twice a year the little nephew who she would.
Once. I've only got to see
Man,
him
who's
once.
driving the bus here? You guys are running each other over.
Man.
He told me that I would have.
Yes, this episode is not for Linda at all.
They're coming at me hard.
It's Bash Linda.
It's all right. All my fans out there are going to come back at you.
We're throwing curveballs at Linda. Yeah, we're throwing curveballs at Linda right here.
You're trying to get her to step in the batter's box, and
We're trying to. We're trying to.
So you did. You did the travel league, and then
travel leagues are usually right before the high school levels. So you do your traveling summer leagues and stuff like that, and then it's when you get into high school, you focus on usually high school.
That has got to be so cool. I cannot imagine being 18. Sitting, I imagine they put you at the little table, like you see everybody else signing.
It was nerve-wracking.
It had to be incredible.
Because there's a couple of different scouts because they don't know whether, like when you're in high school, whether you're going to sign to play professionally or you're going to play college. So they kind of come to your house to try to figure out what direction you're going to go in. So they're showing up, and here I am, this, country boy from Georgia, and I got these executives from like the Royals and the Astros and like teams that are thinking about taking you in the draft. And it's like, that's when it kind of sets in. It's like, okay, I have a chance to maybe go and live my dream out here of playing in the major leagues.
Yeah. Do you know what you were doing the day that you received the phone call? I'm saying, hey, Kenny.
Not exactly what I knew where I was at. I was obviously in my house, in my room, and it was that type of thing. Cause
your emotions just kind of going all over?
Well, my parents picked up the phone, so it was like, and they asked to speak with me, not even speak with my parents, so I had no
You're
idea.
18?
Yeah, and I answered the phone. It's like, hey, this is so-and-so with the Kansas City Royals, and I'm like,
You're like, is this a joke?
It's like, yeah, do you mind if we set up a day to come by and kind of sit down? I want to get to know you, get to know your folks, and what you're all about and all that. And I'm like, sure.
I wouldn't sleep for days. I'd be the happiest kid in the world.
It was cool, but then you realize, because you come from, you're one of the better athletes around your area, correct?
Right.
So I sign and go down to the rookie league, which is all the younger kids. Like they'll draft guys from the Dominican and stuff like that, and they come over. So it's all younger kids usually. And I also all of a sudden realized I wasn't
the best.
The top of the pedestal anymore. I'm like, wait a minute. There's guys down here that are way better than I am. So then it's that work ethic that
you got
to outdo everybody.
Yeah, so you have to put up numbers and outwork the next person to get, to jump the ladder and get to the next level. So
that's so cool.
That was a little humbling when I got down there, and it was like, wow, I'm really average down here compared to a lot of these guys that are, they're coming out of the woodworks.
So being in a little small town in Georgia, little country speaking little dude, you get that call and then you start traveling around. When did you get into like the Japan Baseball League, and how did that make you feel? I mean, leaving Georgia to go travel out of the country. You're living out of a duffel bag.
Right. The hardest part was 18 years old leaving my home for the first time. That was the hardest and the biggest shock.
Going directly into Japan?
No. To professional
Kansas.
baseball,
Oh,
yeah.
right.
So I'm going to, Florida and then starting out the season in, going to Chicago and traveling around, different minor league systems. So it's like, and a lot of people have already gone to college, so they're already used to the traveling, being away from home, and it's like I'm this young kid, I'm having to live my college dreams and lifestyle through, the professional league because I've never been away from home. Japan was played in 9 different countries, by the way, not just, Dominican, Venezuela, Puerto Rico, Mexico, Japan, Korea, Taiwan. So it was like by the time I got to Japan, which is later in my career, by the way, late 30s, early 40s, I've already been around everywhere, getting used to different cultures and different styles of baseball everywhere. So it was just.
That's cool, though.
It was really cool, yeah. So
who's the little guy for the Astros? Remember the little short guy from Venezuela? You said was hard to pitch to?
Oh, Altuve.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's I don't know if he still does now, but when I was playing in the winter leagues in Venezuela, he was still, a lot of those guys play out there because they use that as conditioning to get ready and available for spring training. So they'll play in a lot of their winter leagues out there, and it gets them ready to go for spring.
So then if you're playing in a winter league, I'm green to this,
Right,
right?
right,
So
yeah.
if you're playing in the winter league and you're in Venezuela, do you live there or do you travel in that country?
Within the country, yeah. You'll travel different teams, different places inside the country. But, yeah, they're short seasons. They're like 2 months, 2.5 months. And for those countries, that is their only season, so they do take it serious.
Oh, wow.
So a lot of and I realized that early on, because if you're coming over as an American in their country and you're playing in their country, they want to win. And if you're not helping that team win,
They don't want you there.
you're not sticking around very long.
Burning torches in front of you.
Yeah, they're throwing batteries at you on the field. I'm telling you, it has. I've seen it all.
You should have collected
Really?
those, man. You could have brought them back here and sold them. That's money.
Those guys take that stuff. It's next level because we come over there trying to use it as a conditioning tool to get us ready for
Right.
spring training as well. That's not how they see it.
So
No,
what if
you're
you got
there to
mad?
win.
What if you got mad at a player from another country and you just wanted to beam them under the armpit?
Yeah, see,
Did you?
I don't do that unless I was directed to do that.
So that's my question here for you.
Good answer.
So there's in softball, there's lots of pitchers that talk crap, and you just try to smoke them up the middle,
Right.
and get them, and the whole team will try to do it until they back off. It's like, okay, did you ever have anybody out there you just couldn't stand? You knew that they just got under your skin.
Yeah.
Who?
He's like, I
I
can't
can't
say it.
name names.
Just a first name. I know there's a bros code. You can say
We
it.
can't do this, can we?
Yeah, this is raw. This is what people want to know.
There was a guy.
Hopefully, it's not like your high school coach or something. Just say first name.
We'll just leave, but there hasn't only been one. We'll just go there because
There hasn't even just been one.
I played 24 years, so there's been
Several.
If I had to put a number out there, I'd say there was probably 7 or 8 that I did on my own, just personal grievances with another player on another.
And what'd you
team.
do? Aim for their.
Oh, yeah, nothing in the head.
Yeah, right.
I'm trying to take out a rib or something. I'm not trying to give anybody a concussion. I might, or maybe if they turn the right way, I'm putting it between the numbers in the back. Right between their number or their name tag. But there's like 6 or 7, and then there's 4 or 5 that's directed and ordered from other people within the
When you
organization.
get the call, it's like you take care of business.
If you don't take care of business, you have
Your
teammates
teammate,
against you.
yeah.
You have it's like because you're not only fighting for your honor. It's a team
team.
thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, you're not going to stand up for this guy, or you're not going to have this guy's back. Okay.
That's what we have to do in slow pitch softball.
Yeah, it is. It's the same.
If our pitcher gets hit like that right there, that you're instructed. Everyone keeps hitting at that pitcher until the other team stops doing it. That's a code. You don't even have to talk about it.
Jeez, I didn't know that baseball and softball was so violent.
Oh, they take you out. Yeah.
It hurts. You have no protection.
know.
No. Yeah, and I know softball, that's an unwritten rule, by the way, as well. You're not supposed to directly go up the middle at,
Only in
at
leagues.
the other pitcher. Like
Oh, it's only in leagues. It's a position you play.
tends to irritate other.
Yeah, it's a position you play. Yeah, right.
Wow.
But yeah, so that's just a little background of
So
myself.
that's cool. Now we've got
So-
to know that you in Atlanta kind of played for your home team. All this. What's kind of one of your greatest accomplishments? You know, traveling around in all the years that you played baseball.
I would say, I know it's kind of corny, but just getting to know the different people. I still keep in touch with a lot of like my translators from Japan and like guys I've developed like lifelong
Friends.
friendships out of, from being in other countries because you're kind of lost over there. But I'd say probably the championship that we actually did win in Japan in 2013. That's been probably one of the highlights of my career.
That's so cool.
Just because baseball over there is just it's next level type stuff.
Right.
There.
And you kind of brought something here to show everyone out there. So
I did. I was
Yeah.
asked to bring our ring from the championship series out.
And
in
it's pretty
Japan.
blinged out.
I love the bling.
It's kind of
Right.
like one
I'm
of them.
just saying, I mean,
Kind of like one of them hideous Dallas Cowboys or when the stinking Dodgers had their ring over here that they won in kind of like a condensed asterisk season, over here. So
They really can't claim that.
yeah, they are.
Yeah, of
They
course they
are.
were.
They're of course the Dodgers.
everybody
are gonna
remembers
claim it.
Alec. Alec's bringing the ring. Alec from his birthday.
That's my little guy. I told him this morning. I said, Alec, you know who you look like? I said, like a smaller version of Paul Goldschmidt. I said, he goes, what? A
Who's
smaller
Paul Goldschmidt?
Goldschmidt? What? He was the first baseman for the D-backs. Oh,
Really?
oh, see?
I know,
Hey.
like Gonzo,
Hey.
and I'm trying to think who was the guy that was the pitcher. What was his name when Gonzo was there?
Randy?
Yes, Randy Johnson, and then who was his second?
Kurt Schilling.
Yeah, those are the only ones that I can remember.
That's their World Series.
And I
team.
barely remembered. So for those of you guys who are listening, you need to be watching on YouTube so that you can see the ring. But I'm sure we're going to post pictures. The ring is here. It's red. It's got red bling. We should describe it to them.
Right?
Man, it is like really large.
Yeah, usually it doesn't come out very often.
Yeah, I can see that. So there's several large diamonds on it, on the face of it, and then there's smaller diamonds on the edges, and then there's rubies. I'm guessing those are rubies that are lining the entire perimeter of the ring.
It sounds like she's at Pardon's Jewelers. See, there's
It's
no
beautiful.
enthusiasm when she's holding that. I know the hard
Like,
work and
it is
effort that you
beautiful.
put into that ring right there.
Hey, on the back it says Ray 42 on the
Just,
side.
Right?
just so you guys know, that ring cost me 3 stress fractures in my cheek as well. That you by taking a line drive up the middle, off the face. So
Wow.
I can literally say that was blood, sweat, and tears to get that ring.
It's absolutely beautiful. It's stunning.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
cool.
Yeah, it's one of the main accomplishments for me, like the one I cherish the most. It's just because over there a championship is just as much or if not more than it is here for the major league teams here. That's how they view it over there.
Absolutely.
There is really only one true sport
And
over in
it
Japan.
sparkles.
Right?
Yeah,
It's
I
a
just
proud
appreciate the bling.
it's a proud accomplishment to have that, man.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Thank you for watching that clip. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see more clips like that, please click here.
Or if you'd like to check out a full episode, click here.
And don't forget to subscribe to us on
YouTube.